Hey, this is X from TPOT Media. Before we get started, I just want to thank everyone for their support and their generous donations to TPOT. For those of you who have not yet donated, it's easy. Just go to our YouTube homepage, and in the lower right-hand corner of our flyer, there you can select the Donate to TPOT Media button or the Prophetic Donations button. Click the button and it will bring you to our PayPal page where you can enter your donation amount. We thank you again for your support, and for that support, we will continue to bring you mind-opening content.
Open your mind.
Black world, know this: bullshit never upsets people. Truth does. Truth does. Truth does. Truth.
Now, Negroes are developing some kind of intellectual maturity too, and they can see that having waited upon the government to protect them has been a weight that has been in vain.
Just think about it. This is X from the Prophet of Thought series. You know,
The frontistery.
TPOT Media returns.
Bigger, bolder.
You've seen President Trump surrounded by black faces. Some you have seen before, some you have not. However, there is one face that is all too familiar. This face, Omarosa. Yeah, she's been connected to Trump for a while, since her days on The Apprentice. You probably know her from other reality shows too. Think about it. But what many people don't know, this is not her first time roaming the White House halls. She worked in the office of the vice president for Al Gore back in the day. But now she sits at the right hand of Trump. Her job, Director of Communications for the Office of Public Liaison, whatever the hell that means. I think it means serving as his I don't hate black people symbol, along with all the other Negroes who have carried Trump's water. But something tells me that she is the HNWI, head Negro with influence. She's going to be the one telling Trump what black people need and what they don't need, what we are and what we are not, as if she knows. Yeah, I know. She grew up in poverty and worked hard to become a PhD, a minister, and a reality show personality. But how does that equate to being the Negro who knows Negroes? I may be wrong, but I don't think anyone who has a thought about a person to be a voice for black people thinks the name Omarosa. When have you seen her out front of some issue or policy that concerns us? It's my understanding that she was one of the most wicked people on reality TV. And not only that, it was not too long ago when she was blowing the trumpet for Hillary Clinton. Gotta give it to her. She switched sides and it paid off. Smart move. A calculated move that has given her more power than she could have ever imagined. The question is, what is she going to do with this power? Use it to actually squeeze some small policy out of her boss that actually helps some black people? Or use it to throw black folks further under the bus that people like Trump have already ran people over with? Is she now the voice of blackness? Does the black world have to be looked at by Trump through a lens adjusted by Omarosa? He met with a group of black people at the White House, all more than likely approved by her. You see how that went. Practically everybody who introduced themselves led off with how they worked for his campaign or worked for his outreach in some capacity. This was no meeting of black minds, more like a Trump Organization black staff meeting. A bunch of black subordinates waiting for their turn to kiss the ring and or kiss the ass. You decide. You think Omarosa was not behind this photo op? She will be behind many more of them to come. But just think one thing these so-called black representatives of black people may not understand: anything they want to do as far as the president is concerned will be filtered through her. I'm sure of that. Access to the White House, meetings with the president, or anything else concerning black people will go through her. She is going to make sure no other Negro will be sharing power with her. And what she needs to understand is that she's not much more than a prop herself, a black woman to show the world that he indulges in diversity. Now, she just happened to be the closest Negro around, so I'm not surprised that he has at least one black person, quote unquote, advising him. The best way to hide your bigotry and prejudice, you pretend not to be a bigot or prejudice. Have some black person in tow and let them answer all of the black questions. And every now and then, invite others like your selected black person to the table and make it appear like black folks are on your mind. Well, let's just hope that she's not just some house Negro there to yes sir Trump to death in order to keep collecting a check and be beholden to her white daddy. We have enough black women in that position already. But this is different because I think Trump actually trusts her a little bit with black folks' issues, affairs, policies, and politics. How concerning is that? I could think of about 10 other people who would be better suited for that job, but they probably wouldn't even take it because they would see it as playing for the other team. And quite frankly, most of them don't like Trump. So we are stuck watching Omarosa prance with the president and filter all of his black people interactions. For the people who tried to get a sit down with Obama and couldn't, black economists, activists, community leaders, and real black scholars of history, good luck with getting a word with Trump, because trust me, you're going to have to go through Omarosa. You might get through if you are a card-carrying black Republican, but you better not be talking that black revolution stuff, or that black empowerment stuff, or that black independence stuff, because your black ass will be shown the door. You better go in there with some chapstick and be prepared to kiss some Trump ass. I'm sure she will make you aware of that upon entry. I'm sure she will be setting the standard, if you will. I don't know what to think about this woman being the black go-to person. Just think she seems to be smart, articulate, and polished. But listening to Trump in that meeting of submissive black folks, it would appear she's falling down on the job. I mean, come on. Frederick Douglass is someone who has done an amazing job and is being recognized more and more? Really? Seems like his director of communications for the Office of Public Liaison needs to bring her boss up to speed on black history. That is, if she knows any herself. But I guess we have to look at it this way. At least she's not diamond and silk. Could you imagine them sitting there with all of their animated, asinine ass backwardness, embarrassing themselves and everyone who looks like them? That may be the one upside to Omarosa being there. At least we won't have to see those two ridiculous ass people performing their clown show in the White House, because something tells me that they are not Omarosa's kind of people. Notice, have you seen them at the White House lately? You won't, not as long as Omarosa serves as Trump's right hand. Prophet of Thought series.
Open your mind.
Just think about this.
Open your mind.